Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse. We're getting started just after 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know what it is. Before the baby, I think we always started right at 9 a.m. right on the dot. And yeah, I'm gonna blame the baby. Post baby, what are we? 10 weeks now. 901, 902, even all the way to 905. It seems to be on a regular basis, but we're doing the best we can over here. So if you're new to the channel, awesome, welcome. And if you're returning, even better. Good to see you back. We started doing the live streams 9/7 September 7th, 2023. So almost 1 year. And the first half of the live stream, we will cover Bitcoin. Then we'll cover some of the altcoins and catching a bounce here on some of the assets. And then we'll cover the indices like the NASDAQ, SP 500, Dow Jones. Of course, the Magnificent Seven we'll probably take a look at, take a quick peek, which they seem to line up with the NASDAQ anyways and the SP 500. But we'll still take a look at them, see if it gives us any other ideas or whatever is going on out there. But then we'll cover, any other stocks or crypto assets that kind of jump out at us. And then that's on the watch list. And then, of course, after that, we will cover your chart requests. So the second half of the live stream, make sure to put in all the details, put in the ticker symbol, put in whether it's what type of asset it is, crypto, stock, whatever. And let me know so that the live stream can keep live streaming. So we'll do that. And then possibly next week, we might be cutting back the live stream to 3 days, right? I said I would commit to 1 year worth of live streaming when I started the live streaming. And here we are. We'll be at 1 year on September 7th. And I think we're going to cut back. Yep. I got a lot of other things that I want to do. And, I can't just make these like 20, 30 minutes because there's so much to cover that I feel like I'm just rushing it and not really getting into it if I don't spend the time, which usually ends up being about an hour. And that's a lot. That's a lot of time, A, and B, it's a lot of energy. So I got to save some of my energy and I got to save some of my time. So I don't. One of the polls I put out there was, should I even do the live streams, right? So I decided that at least going to probably cut back to 3 days a week, at least cut back. So we'll see what happens after that. I do like them. It's good to interact with all of you. So help you by smashing the like button, hitting the repost button, get over here, warming up the trigger finger on your mouse, right? Warming up the trigger finger, smashing the like button, smashing the repost button, and throwing a quick little comment over here. Boom. That's it. 5 seconds of your time. 5 seconds of your time. So there we go. What else? Mega, my guy Salamandrin, who I'm usually competing with on live on X, but maybe he's not doing them this week. I don't know. Maybe he's still on vacation. Mega shout out to the dudes that have taught me and have learned from about trading. Obviously, Jesse Olson, number one, right? I appreciate you. Thank you. He always has the best shout outs. I always repost them because he has the best ones. So thanks, my man. I appreciate it. That's very nice of you to say. So with that, let's get rock and rolling. Bitcoin daily chart. What else? Owl art tattoo, the goat. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. I don't want to get I don't know. If you retire, then you should acquire some labels and stuff like that. But I'm not retired, so I think, and I may never retire. May just keep trading forever, right? Who knows? Who knows? But I enjoy the charts. I enjoy swing trading. So we'll see what happens. Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. TCG chicken. First time watching, just do one time a week. Yeah. I'd probably get really rusty if I did one and might as well just not even do them. But I think more people watch on Mondays and Tuesdays anyways. So by the time Friday comes around, there's not as many viewers. But yeah, I'll dial it back to 3, see what happens. But I was doing every day that the stock market is open. Well, I mean, here we are, 8 minutes. You got to have a little bit of patience. If not, that's up to you. You don't have to watch. Thanks for 1 year of live streams, boss. Your content is great value that I personally appreciate. And I was here to think, yeah. Good to see you back, Javier, as usual. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning. I think that's all for the comments. So I'm not going to say without further ado. I don't know why. But I hate it. I think it's just overused. Without further ado. Oh, I hate that. I hate that statement for some reason. Good morning, Lawrence. Welcome back. I'm never going to say without further ado. I don't know what it is. It's like nails on a chalkboard. It's because people used it so much, right? They don't use any other words. They only use that. And it was kind of like, what is it, 10, 15 years ago? Everybody was using it's so surreal. Oh my God. Before that, nobody used that word. And so then I was like, oh, it's like nails on chalkboard. Everybody, all the actors, everyone, it's so surreal. It's so surreal. Oh my God, I hated it. I hated it. I feel maybe Mondays and Thursdays would be a great balance. Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but then not a lot of people tune in for Friday. So yeah, Monday, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, maybe. I don't know. It'd be kind of weird. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is like a better rhythm. But maybe Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Well, we'll see what you guys say, guys and gals. Bitcoin daily chart. This is the Bitcoin daily chart. Still currently bearish. Still below the trailing dots. So this pivot point took out this pivot point, hasn't taken out this one yet. This could just be a lower high. We'll see if it won't be confirmed until you puts in a lower low, right? Let's see. So we'll see what happens. MACD is still bearish below the 0 line, right? Open and close the market would be better, as my opinion. You should do a poll, maybe test of yours. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. So that's the daily chart. It's still currently bearish on the daily chart. We'll see if we catch a bounce or not, but it is currently below the trailing dots as well. The weekly chart is still currently bearish. Had that last weekly sell signal. So we'll see how the week closes. It's only Wednesday, right? It's only Wednesday. Yeah, it's only Wednesday. I don't know. All the days blend in after a newborn. So still trending downward in the weekly chart. Like I said, had another sell signal over here, but had that RSI sell signal back in April, and there's been no buy signal ever since, right? Oops. We'll get in the flow today. MACD bearish crossover back in May. Maybe end of April, but May for sure. And no MACD bullish crossover since, right? So we'll see how it continues to play out. Still trending downward, right? And we still have those targets on. 2 out of the 4 targets to the downside have been hit so far. We'll see if price retests target 2 again, and then we'll find out if it holds or not, right? And if it doesn't, obviously price starts breaking back down below target 2, then we're going to be looking at target 3, which is pretty much right below the middle of target box 3 is below $45,000, right? And then you have the 200-week moving average that we've talked about several times. Every single live stream is below $40,000. And then you have a fourth target. The middle of it is about 36, is below 37,000. So we'll see if it gets all the way down there. We'll see if it gets all the way down here. We'll see if it retests there. So some of the reasons why we thought it could, right? Some of the reasons why we thought it could is that we had an RSI sell signal on the 2-week chart, MACD bearish crossover on the 2-week chart, not seen since April 2021. Now, there was still an epic bounce that we always talk about, end of 2021, but there was never another RSI buy signal all the way until February 2023. So that is something to be concerned with. Maybe it doesn't retest the 200-week moving average for a while, because, like I said, what it did last time was kind of came down here like this, then they had that epic bounce, then came back down, and that's when, you know, maybe price came like this, right? And then comes back down and retests and retests. So we'll see how it plays out. We don't know. We don't have a magic crystal ball. So that's what we're watching right now on the 2-week chart. Also the 3-week chart, right? If you go to the 3-week chart, same thing. RSI sell signal on the last 3-week candle. We have a MACD, no MACD bearish crossover yet. And if you go back to 2021, May 2021, there's a RSI sell signal and then a bounce, and then finally had an RSI buy signal in March 2023. It's lagging, right? It's a lagging. The higher time frames are really lagging. So that's what we're going to continue to watch, though. The MACD bearish crossover could get one, maybe cross back over and then cross back over again, you know, all that stuff. So we'll see. And then if you go to the monthly chart, we already covered this as well. Had the reversal candle in November 2021. Price came back to the trending dots. Reversal candle 2024. Price came back to the trending dots. Reversal candle. Price ended up coming all the way back down the 200-week moving average. Reverse candle. Will price come all the way back down the 200-week moving average? We don't know. We don't know. We'll find out. Indicators picking up long-term bearish divergence, right? And so there we go. No MACD bearish crossover yet on the monthly chart either. Again, lagging time-wise. So as of right now, the daily chart is just kind of been about the same price going all the way back to July 4th, right? So almost 2 months of up, down, about the similar price since July 4th. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Not much has changed the last few days. Not much has changed. We'll continue to watch it. Ethereum. This one, I might have deleted it. Let me put it back on. So I had this weekly chart. Where was it? Right here. Oh, there we go. So right there. Oh, I already had it on there. Okay. So this is the weekly pivot point over here. And we talked about, okay, it's back above. Okay, it's back below. Okay, it's back above. It's still below, right? And now the trending dots are starting to trend down below it as well. Not yet, but maybe next week or the week afterwards could be trending below that pivot point as well, right? So just another reason to put a check mark in the bag that the correction is not over. Unfortunately, we're not out of the woods yet that we've been talking about all the way back over here, right? So that's Bitcoin. Daily chart, Ethereum. Maybe we're going to see a bounce, right? Maybe we're going to see a bounce. Ethereum already retested the 200-week moving average where Bitcoin has not. So it's already retested it. You had an RSI buy signal. You had a reversal candle. You have maybe a higher low, right? But maybe we're going to see a bounce. And remember, there's a CME gap at $3,000. So it wouldn't surprise me if we got a bounce to at least $3,000, but there's no breakout yet, right? There's no breakout yet. So we'll see what happens. The arrow would be, let's go to icons. The arrow would be like this, not that big. It'd be a small arrow, right? So we'll see what happens. Get a breakout over there, smaller arrow for a retracement of that big move down. That was a big move down, right? So from here to here, wick to wick, 41%. So if you get a retracement of that, fill that gap at $3,000 on the CME gap, that would make sense. And or even a little bit higher, maybe 3,100, 3,200. Just kind of the eyeball test of where the targets would be, target 3 and target 4. And so we'll see if that happens or not. Probably similar to the other altcoins that we're watching too, right? So Solana has bullish divergence again, right? Just continues to have bullish divergence, right? So we're going to kind of map it out like that. You got the bullish divergence, and we'll see if it catches a bounce in the near future, right? Not yet. Not yet. Still below the trading dots. We'll see what happens. Sand, all that bullish divergence, additional bullish divergence, right? All the way, right? Non-stop bullish divergence like that. So we'll see what happens. Those targets are still valid in my personal opinion because it did not take out this lower wick yet. And so we'll see what happens if it gets back above the trading dots. Maybe we get another buy signal and go up and hit at least target 1. I mean, I'd be surprised if it doesn't hit at least target 1, maybe target 2, target 3, target 4, right? So that's sand. Maybe it's going to catch a bounce, right? Maybe it's going to catch a bounce, get a retracement. Near, similar thoughts. Filecoin, similar thoughts, right? Very similar, except for the difference is this could be a potential higher low versus bullish divergence, right? So you got the bullish divergence, you got the reverse candle, possibly a higher low, and then we'll see if it gets back above the trading dots and whatnot, right? So and whatnot. You could keep this drawn out like that. Let's see. A little bit more conservative downward trend line, right? There we go. Like that. Move these over. Right? There you go. There you go. So that would be Filecoin, Mana, right? Possible higher low was not. This could be a possible double bottom over here, right? Possible double bottom. Additional bullish divergence. So that's what I'm seeing on these altcoins. So those bounces are still potential targets, retracements. It's overdue, right? It's overdue. To say that it's overdue is an understatement. It's been correcting since that peak of March 10th, right? So you're going on, what is that? It'll be almost six months, right, of going through just straight down. So we'll see. We'll see. Time and there was a big correction, right? So on a lot of these, at least 60 or 70, 73.5%, right? All go, similar thoughts, hit one target so far. Could be a higher low over here, too early to say. Cardano could be a higher low, too early to say. One target so far. DOT could be additional bullish divergence. Looks like it is so far. AVAX could be a possible higher low. Chainlink, possible higher low. FET, possible higher low. Rarible, way too early to say. Possible higher low. Let's switch gears over the NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ, we've been talking about it. We covered it the entire way, right? We covered the bearish divergence in real time. Chief Diaper Changer reporting live here. How are we doing on likes? Let's take a quick little breather over here. Let's see, get a little refresh. A little refresh over here. 7 likes. That's it. Yeah. 7 likes. And probably it's definitely demotivating me of doing it 5 live streams per week, right? Or every day that the market is open. So for sure cutting back to 3 days per week. And if we don't get those likes up, the tribe will have spoken and don't really care that much about the live stream, right? So if we don't get the likes, right? Tell me you're interested in the live stream without telling me you're interested in the live stream. More likes. More likes. So help me, help you, help me. Let's go. What else? What else? 8 likes. Ooh, brutal. NASDAQ daily chart, 19,000 flat today. It was down like 0.7% at one point, right? I think it was down 0.7%. Pretty close. Yeah, 0.63%. It was down. And then no, I'm sorry. It was down like 0.87%. Then it was up 0.6%. So somewhere in between right now. I thought about this yesterday. It seemed like after that big move down, there was no red trending dot till today, till the new candle. And now we have a red trending dot. So after this big move down over here, this was a green trending dot still, and there wasn't a red one till then. So just thought that maybe it would take some time off the clock, maybe move sideways, up and down, but move sideways for like 3 or 4 days, let the training dots kind of catch up a little bit, and then start to make its move down after that. So we'll see if that plays out or not, but maybe, just maybe, the next 3 or 4 days could be sideways and or up a little bit, up into the training dots. You see how it moves down fast over here as well, and then moves, basically sideways for 5 days, comes back up, hits training dots, and then another move down, right? So the training dots are up here at 19,500. Over the next few days, week or two, maybe a week, maybe the training dots are down here, and then we'll see if price continues to go lower from there. So we had talked about it. We covered it the whole entire way. Bearish divergence, reverse the candle in real time, lower high, broke all the way down. Down here, we talked about how it was looking like profit taking was happening in real time. Profit taking, oversold, comes all the way back up. We talked about putting in a possible lower high, maybe take a week or two. Took about a week, right? Or a little bit less than a week. And then it started to roll back over and had multiple sell signals over there. So is that a lower high? We put that on right away. We put it on when price is at $20,000 on the NASDAQ futures, and it's too early to call it. It looks like a lower high, but it won't be confirmed until it takes out this pivot point over here, in my personal opinion, but that's why we have a question mark on it. So this is the higher probability that prices are going to go lower. This is the higher probability short that you would take, right, to the downside. Doesn't mean that you're not – it doesn't mean that it couldn't go higher, right? It just means that it's a higher probability. And then, of course, if price doesn't find support at target 2, 3, or 4, see the big arrow down from there, right? So that's where we're at right now. The daily chart is bearish. The weekly chart looks like it's putting in a lower high as well, right? Looks like a possible lower high. Trending dots are going sideways as of right now. There's an RSI sell signal, right? Looks like the lower high. It's trending downward. MACD bearish crossover, all that stuff, right? All of that. So that's the NASDAQ. SP 500 flat as well. Had that sell signal yesterday. There is a MACD bearish crossover on the sharpshooter candles 3.1 as well. We talked about it. We covered it. There was bearish divergence followed by a reverse candle. Price came all the way down, pumped all the way back up, was looking like a lower high, closed back below the trending dots with the sell signal as well, and it is still bearish on the daily chart. Dow Jones, similar thoughts, except this is more of a double top. Put in additional bearish divergence, right? Put in additional bearish divergence over here. No sell signal as of yet, but it did close basically slightly below the trading dots, and this would be another candle close below it. So looks slightly different just because there's still bearish divergence and there's no sell signal as of yet on the Dow Jones. Russell 2000 looks like it put in a lower high. Sell signal looks very similar to the NASDAQ and the SP 500. So is the Dow Jones just lagging time-wise? It's possible. It's possible. The dollar, no buy signal as of yet, but did get a close back above the trading dots, came back tested it, and there was a RSI buy signal, MACD bullish crossover, but no buy signal as of yet. And you can see that, downward trend line's probably out like this. Let's see, kind of line that up like that. So may take some time for before there's a bigger retracement, right? You could probably draw a more aggressive downward trend line too. Maybe that would look more something like that, right? But that's the way I kind of see it right now. There's some profit taking right before the 200-week moving average down here at 100, and it was getting oversold, reverse the candles, all that stuff. Bullish divergence, all that stuff, right? VIX spiked up like 30% on Taco Tuesday, and then gapped up like, how far did they gap up? Let's see. It was at least 10% when I saw it in after hours. Yeah, 13% it gapped up, came all the way back down, right? Down 6.5%. And now it's almost break even. So we'll see how it closes by the end of the day. The daily chart had a pending buy signal yesterday, closed with a buy signal. Yesterday had a pending buy signal on the weekly chart. Obviously, is probably still there again, right? Still there. Yesterday, the monthly chart had a pending buy signal, and obviously it's still there again. And price is back above the 200-week moving average. The last time I did that on the previous month, this early in the month, it spiked all the way to $65.86. $65, let's call it, right? So this could be a higher low over here. And we had a buy signal. It's back above the 200-week moving average. Could be breaking out this longer-term downward trend line based off the log chart again. And that would line up with the NASDAQ going through a bigger correction, right? Or a correction, right? Deeper, longer, bigger correction, right? On NASDAQ, SP 500, Dow Jones, that would line up. So buy signal yesterday, pending buy on the weekly chart, pending buy on the monthly chart, probably the 2-week chart, probably the 3-week chart, but I hadn't looked at them. So keep that in mind, right? If you're in longs and the NASDAQ goes down, do you think Bitcoin will break correlation and go to the moon? Or do you think Bitcoin will also go through correction? Just think about this for a second. The NASDAQ and the SP 500 corrected like 30% for March 2020, right? March 2020, there's like a 30% correction. And Bitcoin ended up correcting, I think total was like 78%. But during the bigger correction of the NASDAQ, it corrected like 65% very quickly, right? So it's a high risk asset still. I know there's many out there who preach and talk about and evangelize Bitcoin, talking heads on a regular basis, that it's, gold and is a hedge against humanity and all that stuff, right? But the charts say that when the NASDAQ and the SP 500 and goes through a bigger correction, Bitcoin also goes through a bigger correction and will outperform the NASDAQ to the downside, or has every single time so far. So I would assume it's going to be the same thing again until proven otherwise, right? That's what I see on the charts. So despite what people believe or want to believe or what the talking heads say nonstop, no matter how many times they pound their chest, no matter how many times they pound the table, the desk, whatever, yell into the microphone, the charts say something different. So block out the noise, see what you see on the charts, trust what you see, and snipe at the markets the best to your ability. And we'll try to do that together every single day that the live stream is on, right? So that's the VIX. Let's switch over to the Magnificent Seven. Nvidia, right? Still bearish. Has a MACD below 0 pending, right? MACD is heading below the 0 line, which is bearish. So we have that coded into the sharpshooter candles because I like to see the pending. I don't really care I honestly don't care if the MACD crossed over bearish or bullish, but I do like to see when it's pending in real time that it is crossing bearish or bullish, right? I love the pending part because it hasn't happened yet. I like to be in real time or the foresight crew. I hate being the hindsight crew, right? So I love the pending on the sharpshooter candles, on the style. I don't have any of the MACD bull cross. I don't have any of the MACD bearish cross checked on. You could add that direct. You could add that on the charts if you want. I just have all the pending checked. I want to see what happens with the pending, but I don't have any of the MACD on. You could, right? So, but for me, my own personal settings on the sharpshooter candles 3.1, I want to see all the pendings. I don't really care to have all the crossovers and all that stuff on there. So that's my own personal preference. Yours might be different. You might really want to see MACD bullish crossover. You might want to see the MACD bearish crossover, right? Or above the 0, below the 0, stuff like that. I just like the pending one. I like to see it happening in real time. Oh, MACD is crossing over in real time, right? I don't know. I just like it. That's NVIDIA, Meta. It's got a pending buy signal, but it's well below the trailing dots. It's just catching a bounce, but overall trend is down as of right now. So when it's trending down like this and the trailing dots are down, you got to expect that the bounces will be sold off, right? And so if you're buying that dip, you better sell that rip. Amazon, right? Still currently bearish on the daily chart. It looks a little bit different. It is currently still bearish on the daily chart as of right now. Microsoft flat today, still bearish below the trailing dots. Tesla catching a bounce. Looks a little bit different. We did talk about this gap up here, 245. So we'll see if that gap gets filled. Seems like it's going to, right? Seems like it's going to get a retracement back up here, right? So if you're looking at from this pivot and this pivot here, right? Eyeball test is probably hit target 1. Eyeball test probably hitting target 2. Eyeball test probably target 3, and probably target 4 is up here somewhere by the gap, right? So it's probably pretty close. So seems like it wants to come all the way up, hit target 3. You got the 200-week moving average here too. It could get rejected there, but if it breaks through, fills this gap up here, possibly puts in a lower high, and then we'll see if it comes all the way back down like that. So we'll find out. We'll find out what happens. But that is a gap there. So something to be aware of. And then you have a gap down here as well. It's not a huge gap. And then you got, what is that, old gap over here? Old gap? I don't even know how, it's small. Small. It's an old, small gap. But it's on the chart, right? It's on the chart. So we'll see but this is a pretty good sized gap. So if it is going down lower, it makes sense to fill it first and then continue lower after that. So that's Tesla. Apple, still bearish on the daily chart, right? Still bearish on the daily chart. We'll see. Filled this gap over here is a tiny gap. Filled that gap over there. You got this gap at 173. Has not retested the 200-week moving average since January of 2019. Yes, that is correct. More than 2.5. I'm sorry. More than 5.5 years. Apple has not retested the 200-week moving average, which is down there at 161.47. It is a moving average. So maybe by the time it retests it, it could fill this gap at the same time at 173. It is possible that they line up together. And so it is bearish as of right now on Apple. Google, still bearish on the daily chart. SPY broke down, had a pending sell signal yesterday, right? Had a pending sell signal yesterday. Did not close with the sell signal. Did close below the trading dots. Maybe tomorrow or the next day, the trading dots start to flip red. They haven't yet. We have a MACD bearish crossover pending. And you do have this gap here at 545. And you got another gap down here on SPY. It's still open. Right? You got another gap over here. What else? You got a lot of gaps down here, right? You have a lot of gaps on SPY. Add another one. My goodness. My goodness, there's a lot of gaps. Gapalicious, right? So SPY. And you got the 200-week moving average all the way down here as well. So it's a moving average, just pumping up. But this was a huge, massive move. And none of this has been retraced yet. None of it has been back tested. Just pumped straight up from that reverse candle, right? October 2023. That's when we closed the short position on the NASDAQ. I was shorting the NASDAQ, and on October 23rd, I believe it was October 23rd, it happened to be the exact bottom. I was on lower time frames, and I closed out my short position. In hindsight, I should have taken a long position. I didn't, and I missed it, right? I missed it. So I'm not perfect. Yeah, that was my initial thought, Tesla John, because we're already doing like typically Monday through Friday when the market's open, but that would probably give a pretty good flow, right? Probably a pretty good flow. So if it is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, not as many people tune in. Usually not as much action going on in the markets either. That's probably why. So maybe Fridays will be, unless there's a lot to talk about, maybe it'll be a shorter, like 30 to 45 minutes. I always say that, but and then go hard in the paint Monday and Wednesday for like an hour. So yeah, thanks for your input. Appreciate it. Yeah, SPY. Holy moly, look at all those gaps, right? Holy moly. Maybe we'll start to see some trending dots flip red tomorrow or the next day. And then maybe we'll see a sell signal in the near future, fill this first gap, maybe this next gap, and we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out in real time, right? QQQ had a sell signal yesterday, filled this gap. Is it leading the way on SPY, right? There's a lot of similarities. Had the sell signal. The red trading dot just happened today, right? Did fill this gap over here. So that gap was filled. Let's flip that one over. That gap was filled. This gap was filled, right? So is it leading the way? There is a gap up here to be aware of too. Put that on there. See, there is a gap up there, so we will be aware of that. We will be. Is there one on SPY? No, there is no gap on SPY. That gap got filled over here, right? That gap got filled. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Sell signal on Nasdaq Composite Index as well. So we covered all that. Let's see what else. What else? Bitcoin mining stocks, HUT still bearish. Bitfarm still bearish. Marathon Digital oversold on CleanSpark, could remain that way. Filled this gap all the way over here. We talked about it. Small gap up over here. Tiny gap over here, 737. Irish Energy retraced all of that move, basically. Retraced it all. We're going to make it only if you take profits, right? We're going to make it only if you take profits. You take this breakout here, you're starting to see bearish divergence. You see a reverse candle. When would now be a good time to take profits? You see a candle close back below. When would now be a good time to take profits? You see a lower high starting to be established, closing back below. When would now be a good time to take profits? Sell signal. When would now be a good time? I mean, if you buy and you never sell, that is a terrible strategy, right? In my personal opinion. Cypher mining. Whoo. Wow. Wow. Spiked up, hit 2 longer term targets, and just came crashing back down. All the way back down 63% in a short period of time. Brutal. Riot, Hive, MIGI. Oh man. What else? Lemonade. Currently bullish right now. You got this gap here at $22, right? So came all the way back down. So pumped up, came all the way back down, back tested this upward trend, this downward trend line, and it's pumping back up. Remember, the weekly chart also had a buy signal a couple of weeks ago. The 2-week chart had a buy signal again, so it had it. So it's bullish. All the way came all the way back down the trending dots, right? So lemonade. I think the 3-week chart too. What else? Let's look at PayPal. What's PayPal doing? 44 minutes. Oh my goodness, what are all the ETFs doing? Remember all we heard about the inflows. Is this it? Bitcoin strategy ETF? Maybe not. Let's do IBIT. Yeah, there we go. All the new ETFs, right? Remember? Inflow. And don't hear anything about the outflow, right? Don't hear anything about that really. Just the inflows. We got the inflows. Thank you, Hindsight Crew. You have some gaps down here, right? You do have some gaps. This gap was filled. That was a bigger gap. This gap was filled. This gap was filled. There are a lot of gaps. This gap was filled. This gap has not been filled. There we go. There's another small gap here. Gapalicious, right? A lot of gaps down. So they're not huge gaps, but they are gaps nonetheless, right? Not all gaps get filled, but they do work great as targets. J-O. And I've been saying that for a long time now. 3.5, 4 years on Twitter. They all look the same, right? Gaps everywhere down there. HODL, no thanks. HODL, no thank you. Gaps. They all have gaps down there, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We don't know if the gaps are going to get filled. 4 targets were hit. And 4 targets were hit. Came back down, retested the 3rd target again, right? So we'll see if the 4th target gets retested again. We don't know for sure. And then we already had these gaps laid out on those. So Bitcoin, a lot of gaps down here, right? What else? What else are we looking at today? 46 minutes in. Hood. I haven't looked at Hood in a while. SoFi, still currently bullish on the daily chart. Weekly chart, still currently bullish. Square. We have the daily chart over here. Nope, not yet. What else? Did I miss it? Oh, PayPal. There you go. Still currently bullish. There's bearish divergence. So if puts in a lower high and gets a MACD bearish crossover, all that stuff could fill this gap over here. Still bullish on the daily chart as of right now. Still above the trailing dots, all that stuff. Weekly chart, still bullish. 2-week chart, still bullish. Monthly chart, not yet, but there's a RSI pending buy signal on the monthly chart. Not seen since June 2020, right? There's been no buy signal since June 2020 on RSI for more than 4 years. There was an RSI sell signal September 2021, and you can see ever since on 2021, that RSI sell signal was the top on the monthly chart. It broke down, and then that RSI was all the way down, and now this could be the bottom. Woo-wee. Right? Imagine being on the right side of things. There you go. I mean, you can make it as complicated as you want, or if you're a long-term investor, there's an RSI sell signal way back here, and the candle closed at 259. And then if you came all the way back down here and say you got a buy signal on the monthly chart and it was at $74, right? You can see all the way down that was 80% correction, and you're capturing most of that move, right? 200-week movie average 129, etc., 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 etc. So there you go. There you go. Even if there's short-term pullbacks, there could be a long-term move, right? It seems early. The RSI buy signal on monthly chart seems early compared to where the RSI sell signal was at 259, right? $259 still seems early in the move. So there you go. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, this is for educational purposes only. And hopefully find a little bit of entertainment along the way. So there we go. What else? What else? 49 minutes. Bitcoin dominance. I haven't looked at that one in a while. Okay. Not much to see there. Teledoc. Are we finally going to see a bounce on Teledoc? My goodness. My goodness. Maybe, baby. No, I'm not talking to you, baby. Don't worry, baby. The nanny's got you right now. So, what else? You got the big gap at $20, right? That is a big gap. Eventually, unless it goes bankrupt, right? Unless it goes bankrupt, eventually that gap's going to get filled. You would think. That's a 16, almost 17% gap. To say that a bounce is overdue is an understatement, but that doesn't mean it's a buy yet, right? That doesn't mean it's a buy yet. If it were to break out, right? And if it were to have like a buy signal and all that stuff and everything starts to look a lot better and it were to bounce up and, eyeball tests the, what's the halfway? A little bit above. Just say even there, 100% bounce to 1550, right? 162% bounce to the gap, right? So there will be potential, whether it's like target 1, 30%, target 2, 50%, target 3, I'm just eyeball test, 80%, target 4 over 100%, and then it comes all the way up and feels like it. And now it may take a long time for that to do that, right? It may take weeks, if not months, if this is even the bottom. So we'll see how it plays out, but that's just the kind of the potential that I see over there. I mean, it could take a while to play out, right? No buy signal as of yet. So, something to keep an eye on. What else? We'll leave it there. Rivian still hasn't filled that gap yet. Still bearish on the daily chart. TLT, I haven't looked at that. Still bullish on the daily chart. What else? What else? What else? What else? I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let's see what else. PayPal, yes, sir. G-Rod, welcome back. Long-time market sniper over there. I'm in from 63. Okay, on PayPal. PayPal. Where was it? Okay. 63. Okay. Okay. I was gonna say why so late to the party, but that's not bad. Okay. In hindsight, that's not bad, right? If you're in 63, you see long, right? And currently up 15%, right? So there you go. Just try to push it as long as possible. The last buy signal was over here at 62.75. So there you go. Even if it comes back and fills this gap, right, could still be a long-term hold. You can see it wicked down back over here and filled that gap. So it could be a short-term play. So you just have to decide what you're going to be doing. What else? Matthew Pugh. We'll do one of them because we're already at 53 minutes, Matthew. And there's kind of a late request at 9:49. Is there any other requests? Let's see. What else? What else? Any other requests before that? Nope. Okay, there we go. Is on Coinbase, right? Okay. Aleph Coinbase. Is that the one? .im? Is that right? I don't know. I don't know. Let me know if it's that one. Is that right? Okay. Cool. This one right here. So .im v2. Okay. Obviously, I've never charted it. So looks like a lot of the other altcoins. Oh, maybe I have. Maybe someone already had me take a look at it. I just don't remember. Wow. I just don't remember. There you go. Yeah, looks similar to a lot of the other altcoins where it had a nice correction over here, right? 78%. And this could be the bottom. Too early to call it, right? It's still bearish on the daily chart. You want to see it get back above the trailing dots. You want to see it get back above this downward trend line. You want to start seeing a buy signal, all that stuff, right? For a higher probability. So looks similar to the other altcoins. So it's possible we see a breakout and a retracement in the next days, if not weeks. But it's going to look like something like that, I think, right? So see, I mean, it's possible that already even hit target 1, right? And then maybe target 2, 3, eyeball test, retracement targets, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. That is Aleph.im. I guess there you go. Oh, yeah. Cool. Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate that. Thanks for all the details. Try this one. Yep. Okay. That makes sense, right? So this could be it could be the low, right? It was oversold, reverse candle. This could be a sneaky higher low. This could be a sneaky higher low. It's too early to say. Higher probability would be back above this area over here. Maybe it hits target 1 again, target 2, target 3, and then maybe even target 4. So we'll see how it plays out. And it would be, if it was a breakout like that, right? Maybe it comes up 45, 70, 100%, right? So Woo! You got it, Matthew. You got it. Thank you. Thank you. I think that's about it. We're 57 minutes in. We're about to call it. Quick little refresh over here. We had 8 likes. How many do we have now? How many do we have? How many now? 13 likes. Oof. Oof. Brutal. Brutal. That is brutal. 578 viewers, and we have 13 likes. Ah, that hurts. That cuts deep. That cuts deep. So there you go. That's about it. Let's see. Bitcoin. Yep, catching a little bit of a bounce. Catching a little bit of a bounce. NASDAQ still flat. See how the day closes. Flat. Flat. Right? There was a big move yesterday. So expect a little bit of a breather. Let the trending dots catch up. Let the moving averages catch up. Yep. Okay. That's about it. All right. Thanks for all of your support. I appreciate all of you. And we will see you on the next live stream tomorrow. We're going to finish out this week strong. We're going to finish every day the stock market is open this week. And then next week, I think it's going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, starting next week. And that will still be a pretty good rhythm every other day. And it'll basically cover, throughout the week, right? So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. And then I may or may not reduce it down from there. I'm not sure. But I did commit to a year, and that year is up on the 7th, and the 7th is up on Saturday. So Friday will be the last one that I committed to a live stream every single day that the market is open. I did my best, and we spent a lot of time, hours upon hours upon hours, calling the market out and sniping the markets together every single day the market was open, unless I was on vacation, right? Unless I was on vacation. So tomorrow, Friday will probably be shorter. And then starting on September 9th, it's football season, by the way. Starting September 9th, then we'll have the 11th and the 13th, unless the market is closed, right? So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So woo-wee, there we go. All right. Thank you. And Lawrence, come on, guys, like and subscribe, encourage us, because there are not many thanks, my man. Thanks, Lawrence. Lawrence is one of the good ones. Lawrence always helps out with the likes and comments, not only on the YouTube app, but Lawrence is also helping out on that Twitter X app too. That's unbelievable. If you're ever going to be like Lawrence in life, if you're ever going to be like someone in life, be like Lawrence. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate that. I won't forget you. With that, have a good rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Adios.